But I say unto you, I will not drink henceforth of this fruit of the vine, until that day when I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth, as it is in heaven.
We're living in a time we're going to meet Yahweh Shai. You're going to meet him face to face, which is proof also that we have to be changed. We can't meet the Lord like this. He's going to change you, he's going to crown you, and he's going to toast with you. Sometimes when Akim are among each other, we'll do little small toasts. Brothers may be like La Yasharala, holding up cups. But imagine the Lord himself hosting it, man. And we join in. And I was reading something else, and pretty much they said in order to have what they call a loyal toast, you would use wine. That's the beverage of choice. And once again, our Lord, he's coming back. And we're going to see him with all that power, man. But he's going to extend that power to you.
The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of God. And if children, then heirs of God, then joint heirs with God. If so be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. For the earnest expectation of the creature waiteth for the manifestation of the sons of God. For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who hath subjected the same, in hope, because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of God. For we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now. And not only they, but ourselves also, which have the first fruits of the Spirit, even we ourselves groan within ourselves, waiting for the adoption, to wit, the redemption of our body.
And once again, when our Lord returns, he's going to wield that power to you elect as well. Once again, he's going to change you, he's going to crown you, and he's going to have a toast with you. A kingly toast, which will basically be a celebration for victory over the beast, victory over this system, victory over Edom Rome coming back, and Edom Rome's mark, which will be that Quran. So we're going to celebrate with our Lord Yahweh Shai, and honestly, there is no telling what all he has in store for us.
Drink ye all of it, for this is my blood of the New Testament.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers, and peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful lake out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful lake, the believers and listeners who have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh by Shema Shai. All right. And what I want to get into this morning is another morning, news and prophecy. All right. Government shutdowns and more. Okay. Because the devil, he's all over the place. All right. He has a lot going on. All right. And this devil, he's all over the world. All right. Doing madness, here domestically in America, abroad. Okay, and what we're seeing now, okay, is this government, is waging a war on its own people. Okay, and what we're going to see, as the devil wages this war, okay, we're going to see financial scrapes. Okay, you're going to see people being cut off from food supply. Okay, communications, could be cut. Okay, and many other things, because this is war. All right, and with you tribes, what's getting ready to happen? A troop. Okay, you're being numbered to the troop. Okay, and see what we're finna see is the pride of America be brought down. Okay, from the top elites. Okay, on down. All right, to the everyday Joe Schmo. All right, and the stray nigga. Okay, walking the neighborhood. Well, pride is finna be addressed in the earth, man, especially here in America. Okay, and the Lord is using Esau as a tool, to address, pride amongst you tribes. Okay, and the Lord is going to address pride amongst Esau. All right, through His judgment, man, through the judgment of the Lord. Okay, so let's get a couple precepts. I got a few videos to get into. Um, so let's go here. All right, this is Isaiah chapter 2. Okay, verse 11 said, "The lofty looks of man shall be humbled, and the haughtiness of men shall be bowed down, and the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai alone shall be exalted in that day." See, we're coming to a time where the Lord is going to humble the earth for judgment, man. And it's going to be the worst right here in America, man. Okay, all the pride, okay, of America, from its government to its people, is going to be humbled and brought low. It's going to be bowed down to the judgment of Yahweh Bashim Shai. And see, only Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai is going to be exalted in the day to come. All right, those names are going to be greatly feared in the earth. And how, all right, is the known, how is the Lord known? Okay, how does the Lord make a name for himself? Okay, we're in the time of judgment, man. We're in the time of the Lord gearing up judgment for this place, man, for these people. Okay, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 9, verse 16. It said, "The Lord Yahweh Bashim Al Shai is known by the judgment which he executed. The wicked is snared, all right, in the work of his own hands." So the Lord is known by his judgment which he executed, man. So we're about to see the Lord just open up more and more. Okay, this is what we're getting ready to see. All right, and the warning has been going out, continually, man. Okay, via the prophets. Okay, now we're in the time where the Lord, all right, is getting ready to silence the prophets, okay, and just open up in judgment, man. And everything Esau Edom is doing, all right, he's just putting himself in the snare, okay. Everything Esau is trying to establish and attempting, to set up, okay, it's going to be a snare unto him, or he's going to get caught in the work of his own hands, man. Okay, everything that the devil is putting his efforts towards, okay, is going to work against him. Okay, thus said the Lord. You see, so judgment, has gone forth. Okay, now we're in the time of judgment. See, our people, okay, they've trusted in this system. All right, they had faith in the plain way of this American society, being up and running, and continuing on, like it has. But now the Lord finna switch up the tempo. Okay, for you hip niggas out there, the Lord finna switch up, all right, the tempo. Okay, and judgment finna go forth. Now, I want to go to this here first, dealing with the government shutdown. This is a video that explains it, pretty informative. Okay, what is a shutdown? What does it entail? Okay, so I just found a good video, so we all can be up to speed, okay, on what all that entails. And I'm quite sure, if any of you brothers or sisters work for the government, all right, but just for us on the outside looking in, all right, let's go into what that means. Okay, so let's play this video. Okay, and we'll go from there. Let me see. Yeah, we queued up. All right.
Hey everyone, good to see you here. Let me ask you, did you know that since 1976, there have been about 20 funding gaps in the US budget process, but only around half of those actually turned into full shutdowns, where large numbers of federal workers were furloughed? And here's the part that surprises a lot of people. Every single time it happens, the effects ripple out far beyond Washington. We're talking about paychecks, services, and everyday life being thrown off balance. It's not just a headline on the news, it's something that can touch your family, your neighbors, or even you. So stick around with me because understanding how this works and what it really means can help you feel a little more prepared for this. Before we get too far, let me ask you a simple question. Have you ever personally felt the effects of shutdown, like waiting longer for something you needed, or maybe knowing someone who missed a paycheck? I'd love for you to share that in the comments. It really helps others see they're not alone. So let's start with what exactly a shutdown even is.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
The government runs on money that Congress has to approve each year. Think of it like paying the electric bill. If you don't pay, the lights go out. In this case, if lawmakers can't agree on a spending bill, funding stops for what's called non-essential operations. That doesn't mean the whole government disappears, but it does mean a lot of things grind to a halt. Now, what does this mean in real terms? Well, for federal workers and members of the military, it often means missed paychecks. Many of them are still considered essential, which means they must continue to show up for duty even while their pay is delayed. Think about TSA agents at the airport, air traffic controllers, border agents, or firefighters on military bases. The work continues, but the paycheck may not show up on time. Imagine doing a tough, stressful job like keeping the skies safe and not knowing when your paycheck is coming. That's the reality during these periods. And it doesn't stop there. If you're wondering about Social Security, Medicare, or Veterans Health benefits, those still continue because they're funded separately. But here's the catch. The people who answer phones, fix errors, or process new applications may be furloughed. That means delays. So, yes, your check still comes, but if something goes wrong with it, good luck getting it fixed quickly. And guess what? That's one of the most common concerns I hear in the comments. People saying, will my Social Security check stop? The answer is no, but services slow down, and that matters too. Food assistance programs are another area that gets hit. SNAP, which provides food help to millions of households, usually has some cushion for a few weeks, but if the shutdown drags on, funding can run out. WIC, which helps women, infants, and children with nutrition, is at even greater risk. That's not just numbers on a chart, that's groceries in a cart or not. And for families already on tight budgets, even a small interruption can cause real stress. Now, health services are also affected. The Department of Health and Human Services and other agencies typically furlough tens of thousands of workers. That means places like the National Institutes of Health slow down new patient admissions, and the FDA pauses food safety inspections and drug approvals unless it's an emergency. Think about that for a moment. Fewer inspectors on the job checking what's on store shelves. It's one of those invisible things we don't notice day to day, but when it stops, risks creep in. So then, what about education and travel? Federal student aid payments keep flowing, so students don't lose out on grants or loans. But most of the staff that support those systems are sent home. And if you've ever been to an airport, you know how stressful it can be already. During shutdowns, air traffic controllers and TSA officers keep working, but training programs and equipment upgrades pause. In the last long shutdown, some workers called out sick because they weren't being paid, and that caused big delays across airports nationwide. It's another reminder that even if essential services keep going, the strain builds quickly. And speaking of strain, let's not forget the courts. Federal courts often rely on reserve funds to keep cases moving for a short time. But if the shutdown drags on, they cut back to just the basics, which slows down cases in immigration, civil rights, and beyond. For the people waiting on decisions, it's more time in limbo. And one of the most visible signs of shutdown are the national parks. Sometimes they close entirely. Other times they stay open but unstaffed. When that happens, trash piles up, bathrooms stay locked, and sadly, there's often vandalism or damage. During the last shutdown, when parks stayed open, there were reports of trees being cut down illegally and even historical sites being damaged. It's a small example, but it shows how fragile public services are when funding stops. Now here's a common misconception. People often ask me, does the mail stop? The answer is no. The Postal Service funds itself through postage and fees, so your letters and packages still arrive. Same with passport services. Though if the office is inside a government building that's closed, you might run into delays. At this point, you might be wondering, why does this keep happening? Well, shutdowns happen when politicians use the budget deadline as leverage. Right now, for example, the fight is over healthcare's spending tied to tax changes under President Trump. Democrats want to keep enhanced Affordable Care Act subsidies and protect Medicaid funding, while Republicans say spending has to be capped. Neither side wants to look like they gave in, and so the standoff continues. Some see it as recalibrating government, others see it as reckless. And what I'll show you next might surprise you, because the truth is, this strategy has been used more and more often over the last few decades as polarization in politics has gotten stronger. Historically, shutdowns used to be shorter, lasting just a few days. The longest one ever was 35 days back in 2018 and 2019, also under Trump. That dragged on for over a month, with federal workers lining up at food banks and small businesses missing out on government loans they needed to survive. The longer these go on, the harder it is for people and companies to bounce back, because unlike workers who eventually get back pay, contractors and small businesses often lose that money forever. Another thing to consider is the personal toll on federal employees. Imagine being told to keep showing up for your job, knowing you won't get paid on time. That's happened to firefighters on military bases, border agents, even Secret Service members. One firefighter described it as being asked to run into a burning building without gear. It's not just about money, it's about dignity and feeling like your work is valued. And also, there's the bigger picture of trust. Every time the government shuts down, people lose a little more confidence in the system. When you can't get through on a phone line, when your national park is closed, when flights are delayed, it chips away at the sense that government is supposed to serve the people. And the more often it happens, the harder it is to rebuild that trust. So what does all of this mean for you? If you rely on Social Security, Medicare, or food programs, your benefits should still arrive, but delays and errors could be more common. If you're a traveler, you may want to plan for longer wait times at airports. If you're in school, your aid continues, but support services may take longer to respond. And if you're a federal worker, well, you already know how stressful it is. The impacts vary, but they touch more parts of life than most people realize. Now, let's explore further. The current administration says these shutdowns can be a way to force hard choices, to trim what they call bloated programs. Critics say it's sabotage, plain and simple. Either way, the result is the same for regular people: disruption and uncertainty. And here's the part that stings. Every shutdown ends the same way it begins, with a deal. The real question is always how long it takes and how much damage is done in the meantime. So yeah, when people ask me, is this just politics as usual? The answer is no. It's more than that. It's about livelihoods, stability, and trust. And every time it happens, it reminds us just how connected we all are to the decisions being made in those halls of Congress. If you found this helpful, let me know in the comments. What do you think is the hardest part of government?
Yeah. So and I thought that was informative. He just pretty much was straight to the point and broke it down, and you see how here it is, they shut down the government because niggas is arguing. All right. So these Edomites are arguing and they shut down the government, okay, which has all these ripple effects. Okay. And going to work and not getting paid, yeah, that could never be the play, you know. And if I was working for the government and they did that in was it 2018 and 19, and that's the play, niggas barely come to work during during regular times, come to work without pay, nigga, please. All right. So yeah, and it shows you, going back to the point, all right, that these devils, okay, over an argument between the left and the right, okay, that they'll shut the government down. Okay. Well, guess what? They still have money to fund all these different wars at the same time. Okay. The Ukraine funding not gonna stop. The funding to the small hats not gonna stop. The funding to these federal agents, okay, that they're using to federalize law enforcement not gonna stop. The 50,000 bonuses to ICE agents, okay, new applicants, which I believe there's like 150,000 new applicants for ICE. Okay, that's not going to stop. Okay, the military budget, because they can take they can take 1% of the military budget, okay, which would be like $8 billion and keep things going, okay, while they in the shutdown. They can handle payroll, okay, because the government, the military budget, is right at almost $1 trillion now. I know it's 800 some billion, okay, but they could take 1% of that, which would be like 8 billion, and fund, okay, and cover payroll, okay. But no, man. All right, he's the goddamn devil. You think those Tesla, all right, those SpaceX contracts are gonna come to a halt? Okay, you think Palantir, okay, you think those contracts come to a halt during the government shutdown? No, it's the small people, man. Okay, is you people that need that check. All right, like old girl on Set It Off. I need that money. See, you people don't get that check, you know. So let's go here. Here's a couple of precepts before we segue to the next video. It says, Sirach 10:3 says, an unwise king destroy his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited, man. All right, and you people are under the yoke, okay, of an unwise ruler, man. Okay, and he's also locked in, okay, into trying to take the establish his new world order, okay, that he's just losing sight of everything, man. He's blinded by pride, okay, and the devil don't care about, all right, the poor, okay. You see, the new world order is the elites and the poor, okay. That's how they view the earth. All right, they don't even look at countries anymore. The elites don't care about French, Poland, America, Britain. No, it's about the super elite rich, okay, and the poor and everyone else, okay. And it's another thing too. It's a distraction, because people are panicking, and it's another way to make Trump look like a hero. All right, best believe, all right, they're going to use this and spin this government shutdown. Trump is going to come through with some sort of plan, and niggas will be like, "Oh, I told y'all, you gotta just give him a minute, because niggas for Trump, so niggas gonna be on the front line, all right." But yeah, so expect for the shutdown to be ended by this genius idea by Trump, okay, and once again you're enchanted again, okay. But this is Isaiah 30:1. It says, "Woe to the rebellious children," said the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai, "that take counsel, but not of me, and they cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin." Okay, because our people trust in this system, man. Jake has full faith that every day that they're gonna wake up and this system is up and running. Okay, not having any idea, all right, that we're living in a transition of power, a transition of kingdoms. Okay, and the Lord finna shut this bitch down for good. Okay, the Lord got the real government shutdown that's coming, man, and it's gonna be this third world war. Okay, it says they'll walk to go down into Egypt, which is America, all right, and have not asked in my mouth, which is the prophets. So our people go on about their day to day, trusting in this man and this system, okay, and trust that this system is going to be up and running, and this system is going to care for them, okay, it's going to nurture them. You niggas have been pampered, okay, in Egypt, okay. That's why niggas wanted to go back, when we was in the wilderness, man. Okay, even though they was in captivity, they had their little perks in Egypt. Okay, and it says to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh with his economy. All right, you think the American military is always going to just dominate the earth and you're going to be good, you're going to be unscathed, okay, and trust in the shadow of their protection, okay, of Egypt. Okay, it said, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion, man. Okay, and our people that trust in this place, they're going to be extremely confused, man. When there's going to come a time when things shut down and don't come back. Okay, there's going to be grid allergies. There's going to see this is just, a little play. Okay, and the Lord is still warning you during all this, man, through the prophets, man. Okay, but if your trust, okay, is in, all right, this system, all right, you trust in these politicians, because it's right now a nigga praying to Jesus that Donald Trump figure it out, man. Okay, confused as hell, lost as hell, man. Okay, but the Lord, like I say, he finna switch up the tempo on you niggas, man. Okay, so let's go here. I got another video I want to get into. Okay, because as we know, because the talk, the internet is this speech, all right, by Pete Hegseth, all right, and Trump, all right, to these generals, man. Okay, and see, there's going to be a war on you American people, and especially on you tribes. Okay, the Lord finna bring that sword on you niggas, man. Okay, you've been warned time after time, day in, day out, night in, night out, weekend, okay, week out, you've been warned. Okay, hey, you listen to these Edomites. See, a nigga, all right, can a nigga be on TikTok, okay, talking about Trump like he's the greatest president ever, but a nigga miss all these, all right, this, what you call it, subliminal, okay, messages to you tribes, man. Okay, so let's play this, all right, and then we'll get some more precepts.
This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman with Juan Gonzalez. As we continue to look at Tuesday's unprecedented gathering of 800 U.S. generals and admirals who were flown into the United States from around the world and gathered at Marine Corps Base, Quantico, Virginia. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth called the meeting and ordered generals and admirals to gather together for what many have likened to a MAGA campaign rally. President Trump addressed the generals for over 70 minutes, but Hegseth spoke first.
We are preparing every day. We have to be prepared for war, not for defense. We're training warriors, not defenders. We fight wars to win, not to defend. Defense is something you do all the time. It's inherently reactionary and can lead to overuse, overreach, and mission creep. War is something you do sparingly, on our own terms, and with clear aims. We fight to win. Well, today is another Liberation Day. The liberation of America's warriors, in name, in deed, and in authorities. You kill people and break things for a living. You are not politically correct and don't necessarily belong always in polite society.
President Trump claimed the United States facing an invasion from within.
Only in recent decades did politicians somehow come to believe that our job is to police the far reaches of Kenya and Somalia, while America is under invasion from within. We're under invasion from within. No different than a foreign enemy, but more difficult in many ways because they don't wear uniforms. At least when they're wearing a uniform, you can take them out. These people don't have uniforms. But we are under invasion from within. We're stopping it very quickly. After spending trillions of dollars defending the borders of foreign countries, with your help, we're defending the borders of our country from now on.
We're joined now by Eugene.
So who the hell is the enemy within that don't wear uniforms? Okay, who is this nigga talking about, man? Going back to Stephen Miller and his speech at the Captain Kirk funeral. Okay, who are these? Who are they talking about? Okay, who is the enemy within that don't wear uniforms, man? Okay, this is what Esau was at with it. Okay, The sword is sharpened, man. If a brother can get that, Bob was shot in the book of Ezekiel 21. Okay, that sword is sharpened, man. And who is it sharpened for? Okay, let's go here. All right, this is the book of Sirach. This is the brother Kazak Bun Yahweh. Okay, 14-7 says, and if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly, and at the last, all right, he will declare his wickedness, man. And we at the point where this devil is getting ready to declare his wickedness, man. You know, he hype you up with all these campaign speeches about the middle class and bringing back, you know, the workforce, and you see, business and economy and this and that. So he hyped you up during that campaign run, but now we're seeing, okay, why the elites put this devil in office, man. Okay, was to go to war, all right, with you Americans, man. Okay, to go to war with you tribes. You see? So let's go here, because what's happening? Let's see who those people are that are without uniform, those enemies from within. Okay? They constantly calling you niggas out, man. Okay? So let's go here. This is put up by the brother GMS Watchman. All right. Subscribe and be edified to his channel, the channel GMS Watchman. But let's play this. All right. Hundreds of agents just raid entire complex in Chicago, dragging kids out naked. Okay, let's play this.
Do you see that hundreds of agents raided an apartment complex in Chicago in the middle of the night, taking children out naked and detaining Black U.S. citizens? This happened around 1 a.m. at a large apartment complex in the South Shore neighborhood of Chicago. Over 300 agents from ICE, FBI, ATF, and other agents showed up to the apartment complex. They came with helicopters, some people saying they saw Black Hawk helicopters, and it seems that they also came hidden in budget and U-Haul trucks. Officials from the government said that they did this because they were looking for 6 high-priority targets, including suspected members of Tren de Aragua, even though they never showed a warrant while they were there, and they have not confirmed if they actually detained anyone that is a member of Tren de Aragua. Agents went into nearly all of the 100 apartments that were in the complex. They were busting down doors and dragging people out of their beds. There are reports of kids being zip-tied and being taken out buck naked. Black residents who are U.S. citizens also said that they were dragged out of their apartments. They were held at gunpoint, asked to give their name, date of birth, and asked if they had any warrant. They also separated people, Black people in one van and immigrants in the other van. Reports say that between 30 to 40 people were disappeared that night. Activists are trying to figure out who were the people that were disappeared, since the government is not giving any information on the individuals. This raid should be a reminder that they're coming for all of us. Look, white supremacists have done a great job of separating the Black and Latino community, especially during the last election. They separated us so then they can come and hunt us down. They don't care about any of us because of the color of our skin. And to any white people seeing this and say, not my problem, remember, Donald Trump just said that U.S. cities should be training grounds for the military. And they're starting, as always, with Black and brown bodies.
Those are that's the invasion without uniforms. Okay, that's the invasion from within, and they don't wear uniforms, man. You tribes. Okay? And what happened to all them switches that these niggas was talking about in Chicago, man? Okay? Where the hell are these tough guys at in Chicago? Okay? Did the ICE, all right, and the FBI and okay, the U.S. Marshals, they had to check in with you niggas to come on the block? Okay? Absolutely not. And this is just the beginning. All right. And the Lord finna number you niggas to the sword. The Lord is finna give you niggas over to Esau, man. And we don't feel no type of way about it, man. Okay. Damn them kids. All right. Niggas just gonna grow up to be a monster any goddamn way. The Lord finna cut 2/3 off, man. Okay. And then you don't feel sorry for these niggas. I know that damn that. Oh, they zip tied children. It's finna get way worse than that. Okay, it's gonna get way worse than just children being zip tied, man. Okay, the judgment of the Lord is on hand. That's why when you go here, Ezekiel 21:9 says, "Son of man, prophesy and say, thus said the Lord, say a sword is sharpened and also furbished, man. So the Lord been sharpening his sword, Esau, for this moment, man, just to get busy with you niggas, man. Okay? Esau finna take it to you niggas, man. Okay? The Lord finna let Esau get off on you niggas, man. Okay? And it's just the beginning. You see? Esau got some he ain't even pulled out. All right, the things that we haven't seen. Esau gonna pull out some things that we don't even know he got. Okay, and you niggas, all right, just as they do over there in Gaza, all right, Hamas, okay, they finna bring that to a city near you. All right, and they already have made you niggas. They already have desensitized the public to how they finna do you niggas, man. Okay, DC, that's where they got the they started a pep rally against you niggas, but it was the Lord doing that, man. Okay, the Lord from the green light, 2/3, man. Okay, and the Lord is so merciful, he still has his men warning you while Esau got boots on the ground on you niggas, man. You know, because the door of repentance is still open. Okay, but hey, you continue to go that way. Okay, it just get worse. All right, it says it is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Okay, so Esau, hey, he got some weaponry, man. The Lord has equipped this man with the AI and certain weaponry, man, certain technology. Okay, that he's gonna be extremely effective at unaliving you jakes, man. All right. Should we then make mirth? And that's all niggas have been doing is playing. Okay? That's all niggas have been doing is playing, man. Big goofy niggas, man. All right. And this is a generation that don't have no adults, man. Everybody is a big goddamn goofy, man. Okay? And the worst time ever, and niggas are goofy than they ever been. Okay? It says a contentment, all right, the ride of my son, okay, is every tree. Verse 11, it says, and he have given it to be furbished that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened and it is furbished to give into the hand of the slayer, man. And ultimately, the slayer is the Most High. Okay? Ultimately, the slayer is Yahweh Bashem Al Shai. Okay? And he's finna swing the sword of Esau on you niggas, man. Okay? As for judgment. You see? So let's go here. I got this one. And then Esau on his end, he's losing grip of his control. All right, but he gonna go out slaughtering you tribes, you 2/3, man. Okay, but he's losing control, man. All right, so this is the response after that. I got a quick one. So this is a video that go into how the generals, were responding. This is all right. Let me see, about 5 minutes. Let's play a few minutes of this, okay? Because this devil, he's losing control of everything, man. He lost control of the narrative, okay? Trump and Hegg self look like a goddamn joke, okay? You see, these generals are not taking these men seriously, man. Hegg self, okay, he's a Princeton boy. Nigga went to Princeton, was in the National Guard, man. Okay, but he's telling warriors what to do. He's trying to tell warriors what to do. Then he was talking condescending. Talking about some beardos and overweight generals and all this. So this nigga is talking crazy to warriors, man. Okay, and this nigga is just a Princeton student, all right, rich kid, okay, that's part of a certain family. That's why this nigga's in that position, man. Okay, and Trump is a clown, and Nero was a clown, man. The military back then didn't like Nero, man. Nero wasn't no prolific Caesar, man. He was trash. Okay, he's more popular for wickedness than anything, but as far as a leader, all right, he was trash. Okay, militarily he was trash. He couldn't lead the military. He wasn't all right on the front lines like a Julius Caesar. Okay, or Vespasian. Or Titus, he was trash, man. All right, so let's play this.
Donald Trump appears to be losing the top military brass over his unhinged and disastrous speech. If you thought Trump's rallies were bad, wait until you hear what the reaction from the military brass was when Pete Hegseth tried to play defense secretary, war secretary, and then Trump came in and delivered a delusional, slurring and swollen, disjointed speech. We are learning that the generals didn't like it. One general said it was a, quote, total waste of money. Another said it, quote, could have been an email. These are 4-star generals. And when they are openly mocking the Secretary of Defense and the President of the United States, you know you've got a disaster on your hands. And there are major political implications here. The big show was Pete Hegseth lecturing generals about warrior ethos, grooming standards, and no fat people, please. He, of course, along with Trump, has renamed the Department of Defense the Department of War. He ranted about toxic leadership. He said to ensure peace, we must prepare for war. And then Trump came in, and Trump ranted about gold paper, thick, firm, hard paper that Trump is titillated by. Trump slurred his way to oblivion. And insiders say that the military brass didn't like it. Not only are there reports that Pete Hegseth has gone completely manic since the assassination of Charlie Kirk, just obsessed with his own security and lashing out and all of it, he's the guy Trump trusts the military to. And the generals seem to have seen it for what it was. I'm wondering, I'm thinking out loud, could it be that as much of a waste of taxpayer money as this fiasco was, that it was actually useful in that it was now undeniable when the generals see Hegseth and Trump in the full glory of their incompetence, that they go, these guys don't, I report to these guys, these are my commanders. But the part that a lot of people are missing is that there was zero leadership here. And the members of the military who were there noticed it. Trump bragging about being friends with Putin, complaining about the auto pen, the machine that signs letters. Imagine being flown in from the Pacific or the Middle East for an important high-level briefing. This is going to set the stage and direction for the next 3 years and 3 months that are left. And then you insult the generals by rambling at them in this way. And so the reports are that the generals were disgusted and they resented being used as props by Donald Trump. Now, let me tell you why.
Yeah, man. So it just, this devil, as he gets closer to trying to pull off his new world order, man, he's constantly shooting himself in the foot. Okay. And those guys are incompetent, Pete Hegseth. And these are just front men for the elites, man. Okay. And I say Pete Hegseth. All right. He's no military guy, man. He's a clown. All right. Trump is a clown. I think Hegseth used to be a TV personality. Trump was a TV personality. Okay. So, yeah, man, the leadership of America, all right, is finished, man. America is finished. All right. 2/3 are finished. Okay. Everybody's done, from the elites of Esau, Edom, to niggas. All right. And the nigga woman of the 2/3, men, women, and children. Okay. Everything is done. Okay. This Job 20:22 says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits, man. So the closer he gets to trying to pull this off, man, he's running into these difficulties, man. Okay, it says every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. All right. And that word wicked in the Hebrew is amal, which goes into a laborer or servant. All right. Because he's lost, the working class. Okay. He's losing his military. Okay. And then, the profits, come from that, their working class. All right. Because this is the biggest resistance against this devil, is the profits raising up, man. Okay. But yeah, man, you see this devil, now he's being met with resistance, man. Okay, every turn. Okay, spiritually, he has to deal with the prophets. All right, he has no answer for that. So he's conjuring up a way, to take freedom of speech and persecute the prophets and deem us, a threat. Okay. It says, when he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. Okay? So as this devil, let's say, gets closer, all right, and the Lord has this devil destruction prepared. So just as he's preparing it, just as he's going to be a tool, a sword, all right, to judge 2/3, well, the Lord has a sword to judge him. Okay, those nukes in Yahweh. Okay, and it says, Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain upon him while he is eating, man. Okay, so this devil is finna be judged, man. You see, there's levels to judgment. The Lord's about to use Esau, I say, to judge 2/3, and then the Lord's finna judge Esau, man. Okay, the Lord's gonna use this nigga one last time. All right, he's like a throwaway weapon. Okay, so that's the point. Just wanted to get into that. Lord will. All right, you brothers. All right, and you sisters edified. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers. And peace and blessing salutations to the hopeful. Shalom.